All right, here we go. Nick Eatman, DallasCowboys.com with us on Sick'em 365 Radio. And Nick, I went back to your last tweet. It was a response to the question a week ago on the website about who do you think is the most underrated player in Cowboys history? And the first name you brought up, I always thought was as good as they've ever had at that position. But you're right. He kind of sometimes get lost in the glitz and glamour.
Larry Allen. Yeah. I mean, it depends on – well, underrated and overrated are so weird because I always say, what's the rating? Who's rating it? And so, but Larry Allen, he's a great player. He's an elite. I still think he's even better than that. And he's the one guy. You can argue a lot of other players, but I don't know if you can argue that he's the one guy that played for the Cowboys. I think he's the best guard to ever play. I guess you could say Dion maybe at corner, but true Cowboys. I think Larry Allen, as great as he is still underrated.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue there's arguments to be had. I agree with you. You could say Larry Allen is the greatest offensive lineman in Cowboys history, and then the second you just can't. There's not a lot of arguments to go with it. Right.
I mean, he's just and he was a quiet guy and all that, but I mean, I just think. As great as he is, I put him on different levels. He's a great player that is even greater than that. And then you've got your Ring of Honor guys that should be in the Hall of Fame. And then you've got your guys that aren't in the Ring of Honor and maybe, they should be. And so I just think there's different levels to, underrated or overrated or whatever.
Nick, were you there that first training camp that Larry Allen was? It might have been in Austin. And it was the first time I think he was interviewed at training camp, and he was scared to death. He backed up this big, huge man, this Hall of Fame Hulk of a man. But do you remember? Were you there in that moment? Because he just
wasn't.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I wasn't. Wichita Falls was my first. No, I wasn't there. But I've interviewed him at times, and we always joke. What is his Hall of Fame speech going to be like? I mean, Hall of Fame, he's going to have to get up there and talk. And if you remember, it was awesome. He wasn't like Michael Irvin talking for 30 minutes, but he did a really good job. And so, he was a man of few words, but, he didn't like it. He didn't like that limelight. But